Can you guys hear me? We are unfortunately stuck on the laptop mic again. My microphone does not want to play fair. But I'm not a pro at this, so I don't have to worry about it. Let me know if you guys can hear me good, or if you can hear me at all. Let me know if you guys can hear me good, or if you can hear me at all. Well, I can hear me. Sounds a little delayed, but Paul, you're going to get a good time, I hope. And if you're not careful, you will definitely get a long time. I don't give short times. So what are we going to do today? We are going to hopefully entertain ourselves with some lanyard tying, which I know some of you guys don't care for, but we're going to do it anyway. We are going to obviously look at some clone knives, which I have the camera aimed at some right now. Let's see. So the bottom three Spydercos, the Paisan, the Nirvana, the Stovepipe, those are all clones. You guys know that. The top three on the right, the Arius, the Bill the Butcher, and the Shirogorov Ursus, those are clones. And the MSI is a clone. Everything else, at least in that area, is not a clone. The only other thing that would be somewhat a clone, this one is not, but all the way to the right on the top, that's a Tactical Gears Zeus. The Tactical Gears does, well, they're basically Grow. They're the same manufacturer. And both do clones. Tactical Gears does a ton of clones. Grow obviously does a ton of clones. But they both do have their own designs. And the Zeus, which is somewhat similar to a Red Horse Designs, it's really not. I think maybe they might have gotten the idea or the design cues from it, but it's its own design, at least for them. And under that is the Bade Stuttern, which is not a clone by any means. That's a Bade Modern Design Stunner. But this Tactical Gears Zeus, which, let me swing the camera around. You guys are going to get to look at my dirty floor for a second. Yeah, fuzzy screen. Yeah. Out of focus now. So that, you guys, I'm sure have seen the pictures of it on the Discord, and there's my garbage can. I'm sure you guys don't want to see that. But like I say, it kind of has that same sweep to the blade like a Red Horse. Crap, now I can't think of the name of it. Hellraiser, the Red Horse Hellraiser, which you guys, if you watch Dark Warning, he's probably done 10 different versions of that knife. And really, I like them. I like the designs. I don't know, like this is probably the closest I'll ever get to one. I don't know if I would ever own one. They have certain things that I like about them, certain things that I don't. Overall shape I like. I think most of them are thumb stud, I believe. I don't remember off the top of my head, but like I say, Tactical Gears, they do clones. I actually have a clone Curtis that I have a version from Tactical Gears, and I have a version from Grow, and they're apart from one being titanium and one having G10, they're exactly identical. I can actually swap the blades on them, and there's no difference. There's no blade play or anything like that. There's no lock rock. They are so identical that I can switch those two blades, and they act exactly the same. Which is, most of the time you really can't do that. You always get some kind of issue, detent lash or lock rock or something like that, because they're never, even if they're all stamped out by the same factory in the same line, they're never so identical that they fit perfectly together. Even the 3 different DOC clones that I have, the Grow, I can't switch the blades on those. Their tolerances are off just enough that you'll get detent lash or lock rock or silly things like that. Mermaid Grail. Yeah, this is actually, I like oddball things, I got to say. As far as knives go, I tend to like the things that people don't like. This really, I bought it as a joke. Obviously, I probably will never carry it. I probably will never use it. It is, pretty damn sharp for what it is. I'm sure it's probably 440C or whatever, or 420. It's got a nice weight to it. I like the weight. I think it would be, I don't know why, but something tells me this thing on bearings would be the juiciest thing around. Like it's a joke. It's a joke. You can't deny this is a joke. But even for a company like Boker to poke fun at themselves and make something like this, and people take it serious, it tells you something. Boker is one of those kind of companies. They've been around forever. They've made so many different knives that people like and so many that people hate. And they're, it's like CRKT. There's plenty of knives from CRKT that you think they, what were they thinking? They had no sense doing it. And they have some knives that, you wonder why they weren't doing it from the get-go. This obviously, joke value and everything, but for them to poke fun at themselves like that and make it, what does that tell you? It tells you at least they got enough sense that they know they're not, the greatest thing out there. I've got a couple of Boker, older Boker Magnums in my collection. I've got a Boker Golem and a Lateralis here that I really like. The Golem I love. It's a fantastic knife. Is it worth the price? It was $100 and something. Is it worth it? I don't know, but I like it. I carry it. I think it's a great knife. Where are we at here? The only trick about the camera is figuring out where you're aiming stuff. This one I sent to Tri-State. He did a review on it. Not all that favorable of a review, but to each his own. Everybody has their likes and dislikes. I like it. I think it's a good size. I like the width of the blade. The steel is great. It's got a good hardness to it. Sharpens up good. Stays sharp for a pretty fair amount of time. It's got a great feel to it, no matter how you're holding it, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you're cutting. The clip design, don't really like very much. Um, it is what it is. Knife itself, I love it. Fantastic knife. So that's a poker. I don't know, man. I can't remember off the top of my head. I've probably got maybe uh, I would say maybe 15 or 20 Boker knives in the collection. The collection is not here, obviously, but it is what it is. It's a good brand. I like it. Older CRKTs like the M16 and all those, I used to like them. I don't anymore, only because as time has progressed and things have gotten better and knives have gotten better and designs have gotten better. Um, Knives like that, the M16 and some earlier Gerber knives that were really good at the time, they're just, for me, they're out of flavor. They're not worth, they're not worth using. They're not worth having. I mean, they're worth using. You can beat them up and not worry about it. Tear them up, throw them down a staircase or whatever, and you won't care about it. But other than that, there's really no, everything now within the past maybe 20 years is just so much better. There's really no, there's no going back. Like stuff like that, even if you still own them. Uh, I have some M16 models. I still have some that I don't remember the models offhand, but they got lock rocks on them and stuff like that. The lock, which some people hated the thing. I don't mind it. There's a couple that I have in my collection that I actually took the lock off of, and it's neither here nor there. Those are knives I don't use anymore. They basically sit in storage, and I don't even, most of them I don't even think about. Like the CRKTs, the Gerbers, the older Gerbers I have. I actually still, and I use it every day, still have a multiplier, which for what it is, it's good. It's a great carry. I don't carry it. It stays on my desk, but I use it every day. If I'm bending clips or if I'm doing something stupid on the desk, taking apart something or whatever, I still use them. I use the file. I use the scissors. Little nipping off little cable ties off the new stuff or whatever. The blade, I never use the blade. It's pretty useless. The saw, I've used this. When I used to carry this, I used the saw constantly. Probably once every couple of weeks, I would be cutting steel at work or whatever, and I would use it. I don't want to waste the time going back to the shop to get a saw or whatever. Use what you have at the time and stuff like that. Multipliers and Leathermans and stuff like that, they come in handy. Actually, when I was redoing the shelves this time, the knife shelves, the material I was using, I used a multi-tool. It was this one is a mossy oak. This is the Tactman. Yeah, this is the Tactman. And I used the saw on this to cut the pieces for the knife shelves, which is just a wood saw, but these, like the one in the Leatherman Wave that I have, I've used it constantly for cutting wood or like strong tubing, stuff like that the knife wouldn't go through very easily, that a utility knife wouldn't go through very easily. I use these, the saw and the Leatherman. I use them all the time. People want to, make fun of them and say one thing or another about them, but they have their use and they come in handy quite a bit. Quite a bit. Actually, let's do this. Let me move you back. Let me make you seasick again. Sorry. The joys of indecision. Let's get a little bit situated here. Obviously, I'm in a little bit of a disarray here because of how I got things set up right now. I think what we're going to do right now is play with some knives. You guys have seen these already on the Discord. I'm sure there's nobody here that's not on the Discord, so if you guys are seeing stuff that you've already seen, then that's what it is. So this is the Paisan, and it's got an enormous scratch on it. What the hell? Oh, interesting. I don't know how I did it, but I got a massive scratch in it. That kind of sucks. But it's a clone, so I don't have to worry about it. I can throw it on the floor and don't care. But that's a Paisan clone, came from OK Knives. Nice little scratch on it now. That's interesting. I'm curious how that happened. Which, this finish is really weird. It's nice, but I thought about, doing a hand rub on it, but I haven't yet. I don't know if I will or not. But it's nice. I like it. It's got ridiculous action to it. Same thing with the Nirvana clone, which same thing. This one came from OK Knives, and everything they have is clones. Everything on their site is clones. All of the Spyderco, all of the ProTech, Microtech, Spyderco, everything is. They've got a little section of their own. They're OK Knives, but they're basically like Eve and Grow clones and whatnot that just have, instead of having the circular hole, they have like a soft corner rectangle type of a hole to it. But at least as far as clones go, these are really good. Like there's no way these should be this good. No way. Like even for clones, they're I don't know. I think that they're, this one in particular, the stovepipe clone, it is fantastic. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. The materials are great. It's got great steel to it. It's supposed to be 20 CV, and from what I've experienced with it so far, how it sharpens, how it hones, how it works, the type of rollover it gets as it wears, it acts like 20 CV. I'm trying to look right now at their site. I'm pretty sure they claim it's 20 CV. And I really haven't seen anything that would make me doubt that. Because like I say, the way it uses, the way it sharpens, the way it hones, it acts exactly like 20 CV. Yeah, 20 CV, CPM 20 CV. Which if it isn't, it's, for me to tell the difference of steels when I'm using them, it's really not too hard. Some of the modern steels I have a problem with differentiating, but I can typically tell when something is D2 or 20 CV or 154. It's not that hard to tell a difference. I grew up in a steel shop, in a saw shop, so I'm used to being able to tell how steels are, how they react, different properties of them, how they use, how they wear. And like I say, this one, at least for the characteristics of this blade in particular, it acts like 20 CV. It cuts like 20 CV. It takes a tooth like 20 CV. It gets the same characteristic rollover that 20 CV does. Burr removal is almost identical to what I would see on decently treated 20 CV. Differences in feel and usability between this and like 14C or D2, something like that, you'd be able to tell a difference. Even if they were, if it was a good or bad heat treat or whatever, you'd be able to tell a difference. So who do we have here? Paul, Isaiah. Obviously, Isaiah is going to be here because he's only 12, and when you're 12, you don't have much to do on a Sunday besides go to church and play tag with your friends. Marco, what's up, bud? Crazy Roach. Basically the usual suspects, it looks like. And then you got me here, the ringleader of the stupid department. Oops, no, that was dumb. I didn't just kill my mouse. No, we're good. A lot of people don't like clones. A lot of people. I would say I only because I don't believe in the morality of the theft aspect of it, but I also believe that if you are, it's weird. Like, it's weird to say, to be honest, but they're obviously not honest. But if they're honest about it, like the knife companies, they're not honest about it because they're selling it to you as the real thing. But if you know better and you're honest about it to yourself, and you can be honest to other people and admit that it's a clone and say it's a clone, it doesn't take away that dishonesty value, the morality value. But me personally, that's not my fight. I don't care. If the knife companies, if they really wanted to, make it go away, they could make it go away. There's always a way. I'm sure it probably cost them a fortune to try and fight it. I know some companies have won against DHgate. I know some companies have been able to eliminate certain websites selling their stuff, selling counterfeits of their stuff. So it can't be that hard to do. The cost of doing it, I wouldn't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't involve myself in that sort of thing. I know what it costs when I sue somebody for stealing one of my photos. Typically, for the most part, I haven't had any problems with winning those cases. I've always won. In the least, they stop using the photo. In the worst, they pay for it, and then they still can't use it. But there's copyright fees and licensing fees and things like that. And depending on what they use the photo for, if they're using it for commercial purpose, there's all kinds of fees involved. Let's say you take a photo and you print it 1,000 times and you sell it 1,000 times for $10 a piece. Well, your value for that, what you have to pay to be able to do that, to license that, it gets up there. It gets pricey. There's calculators to use to figure out that kind of stuff, but the couple of times that I've actually had to take it all the way to court and have lawyers get involved, the people that do it, the companies that do it, they end up paying quite a bit of money. You know, it's a hard thing to do. Well, it's not really hard. The lawyers take care of most of it. It's just a pain in the ass. Um, and what it costs me after winning, it doesn't cost me anything because the lawyers get paid and I get paid from what we recover from the person or the company. Uh, and it doesn't happen often. You know, it's hard to find, like right off the bat, it's hard to find people using your photo to get, for the get go. There's ways to do it, uh, image searches and things like that. I don't really waste the time doing it. Most of the time when I see somebody using my photo, it's because I just came across it accidentally or somebody emails me or calls me. Yeah, the stovepipe, I'm pretty sure that one is uh, close to the real size. I looked it up when I first got it. I don't remember, but I think the overall size was the same as the real thing. The only real difference, I think, at least, like I say, to the steel itself, it seems to me like it really does react almost identical to what I would think 20 CV should be. So it doesn't make me not believe it's 20 CV. I in my head think it's not, only because it's a clone, but steel, at least for them, it's so easy to obtain. I wouldn't doubt that it was some form of 20 CV or something that was so similar that the specs, uh, there would be a barely noticeable difference. As far as the size of the knife goes, I'm looking at the specs right now for the real thing, and okay, knives. Let's see. Where? Let's do this. If we can. So this is OK Knives website. Um, Obviously, like I say, everything, it's all clones. Um, the stuff that I got from them. The uh, Sleaze Bowie I got from them. The one suburb I got from them. The other one I got from Tactical Gears, which is a little bit different. It doesn't have the hole in the blade, um, but it's still the same. So here's their stovepipe. And it's possible, they can just copy the specs on the website and put them on there without actually giving you a real measurement. But what we can do is look at the specs on the real thing and measure this one. This is the clone, blade length 2.78, handle length 4, overall length 6.7. And here's the specs. That's, like I say, the specs, they could just copy and paste them in there. They might not be exact. I don't have a caliper with me. I can't measure the thickness, but overall length, and I would assume they're doing from the tip. So let's see what we got here. And they're saying 6 points, so 6 3/4. Yeah, it's 6 3/4. Almost dead nut 6 3/4. At least to my eyes, it is. Close length 4. Yeah. See, that's barely a 16th under. And I would assume it depends on what, where exactly they're measuring from. Like this area here, like the flat on the nose. If the tape is as flat as I can make it on there, the tail end is between 15 sixteenths. It would be 30 seconds of a difference. It's over 15 sixteenths, under exactly 4. Blade 2.78, so roughly a little bit over 2 3/4, which again, it depends on how they're measuring. If they're measuring from that flat, if they're measuring from the corner of the flat, it depends on how you lay the tape. Measuring it from the flat square, it's a touch. Yeah, it's a little bit over 2 3/4. Measuring tip, depending on, like I say, if you're measuring corner to corner, dead nuts 2 3/4, a little bit over. Yeah, and it's only maybe 2 or 3 30 seconds. So I would say that this is probably it's probably spec'd as exact to the measurement as they could do it. Thickness is what, 0.157. So that's 1, 2, 3. Trying to think of what an eighth is. 3/16, so 4 millimeter. I'm gonna do the math real quick. Give me a second. 4 millimeter. What am I doing here? So 1.57. Yeah, I mean, that would be, I think at least for that one, it's pretty much identical. I would think that the nominal tolerance, like I said, 30 seconds here and there, less than a millimeter here and there, it's pretty much identical to the same specs. And really, it's the thing, the difference between and the real thing, at least from the videos I've seen, I've watched MC's video on this thing probably 3 or 4 times. A bunch of the other guys. The contouring of it, the way it looks, I'm assuming the way it feels, it's pretty identical. The biggest difference is this is on bearings. The real thing's on washers, which I'm sure, it has a smoothness factor to it. Washers are always going to be smooth. But bearing wise, like you can feel it's on bearings. You do get that little bit of a pull here and there, but it's like washers. You're not going to get that. You're just not. No matter what you do, your pivot tightness and tolerance has to be just so dead nuts perfect to have that kind of an action for washers. It's ridiculous. If you do like Teflon or phosphor bronze that has graphite impregnation to it, they're a little bit smoother, but there's still compromises. Like the QSP Penguin, it has Teflon washers. It has phosphor bronze and Teflon, or just regular bronze. And that in particular, that's pretty damn smooth, and you can tune it to be somewhat drop shut, but it's still, you can still tell it's, you can still tell that it's on washers. Audio being choppy, unfortunately, like I said, I'm on the laptop mic still. My camera, using my camera, unfortunately, this model of camera, it won't use a external microphone for a live stream. External microphone for a live stream. Give me a second. You're going to hear some double audio. me a second. You're going to hear some double audio. I'm just checking to see how it sounds to me. I know I'm connected all to it, but at least going through the internet to the other see how it sounds to me. Browser. I'm connected all to it, but at least going through the internet to the other browser. And it doesn't sound bad. It's and that's the thing too. Depending on where I am and where the camera is, the laptop is off to my left. I angled it out this way so the mic would be a little bit more direct to me. The Kingdom Armory, the actual Kingdom Armory Build-A-Butcher, the real one, they're pretty big. As far as big goes, like it's not the biggest thing in the world, but they're pretty big. And I knew that's the one reason why I didn't want to buy a stovepipe was because I don't think the price reflects what you get. It's just that's just the way it is. You can't. I will never. I will never spend that. Here's the bottom line. I've spent my entire life being into knives. Started when I was 7 years old or so. My dad gave me a mini buck, and after that, I've always liked knives. I've never in my entire life had a day go by that I didn't think about knives. And I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Is it the mechanical nature of it? Is the artistic value of it? Is it I don't know. I love mechanical things. I've been an industrial maintenance tech for almost 39 years now. I've always loved working on stuff. I always loved tearing stuff apart, putting it back together, seeing how things work. That TV show, How It's Made, I watched that show, and I am more interested in how they made the machines versus what they're making. Like now I work for a company that produces, manufactures and ships corrugate. We basically make boxes all day long. And I'm blown away. Some of the machinery, the automation, the machinery itself, the mechanics of it, I can't believe there's a human brain somewhere that thought up that stuff. It's crazy to me. I love that shit. I love digging into that stuff. And that's the thing. I would just be blown away by the machinery itself. Like, who came up with that stuff? And it works. Just the harmony and balance of how it works. And I don't know knives, and I still think to this day, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I love art. I used to be a professional artist. My daughter is an incredible artist. I don't know. And I think about it every day. I think, why do I love knives so much? I could stare at my knives all day long and just be like, and I don't care what it is. It could be the McBee. It's the tiniest little thing. I use it. It's totally useful. It really is. It works for so many things. But for me to spend that kind of money on that, like my brain, I think, I don't do that kind of thing anymore. But even as tiny as it is, it's totally worth it. Like, this is so totally worth it. The stovepipe, the prices that they want for them, it will never be worth it to me. And it's not because there's a clone out there. It's not because I can get one for $80. It's basically the same thing, only better because it's on bearings. It's just, I've spent my whole life collecting knives. I have knives in my collection that I just sold a $4,000 custom, a Harkins Triton. I have knives like that, and I'm still buying more, and I don't use any of those. Those are all in storage. I don't touch them. The next time I'm going to see them, I have an insurance appraisal in June. That's going to be the first time I've seen the entire collection in probably 2 years. The last insurance appraisal, I hope that this one is the same or better. I don't think it will be. I think a lot of the stuff has, at least in resale value, I don't think some of it's worth what it used to be. I know that there's some that are still very much worth what I think they should be. I know I have some pieces that I know for a fact are only going to appreciate in value over time. Um, but I can't see spending that kind of money. First of all, I don't have that kind of money anymore. When I had my business and I had expendable money that I could just blow on anything, that's the time that I spent the most time gathering my collection. And I was able to spend, no joke, thousands of dollars at a time buying knives. Now I just can't do it. I have to be a lot more frugal. And I still go overboard. I still buy too many knives. Um, the problem is there's so many out there that just, once I see them, it just makes me salivate. I got to have them. And like the McVie, all the ones that have like the stone texture and all that. I was looking the other day and I, I'm just like, I just want all of them. I want every single one of them. There's just something about it that it just grabs me. Like the Boker Mermaid, like Jesus Christ. Who buys that? Like, what do you buy that for? You know you're never going to use the fucking thing. I used it the other day to cut open some mail, but Jesus Christ, it's going to sit on the desk or it's going to sit on the shelves. I'm never going to touch it. I'll probably slice paper with it every now and then, but that's it. It's just you can't something, and I'm not saying it's dumb to be offensive to Boker or anybody else, but something as dumb as this to give you that feeling that it gives you, like, that's priceless, dude. It really is. It's priceless. And you could tear it apart all day long. The action sucks because it's on plastic washers. It's heavy because it's made out of steel. The clip's on the wrong side, blah 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 blah. That it doesn't, it just, tell me you can't look at that, even if you would never own it, even if you laugh at people for owning it. Tell me you can't look at that and find some kind of value, artistic value, just the joke value of it, anything. It's just, it's priceless. Paul, I'm going to tell you, if you, it's like I say, I don't spend that kind of money on knives anymore. I can't. It has to me, it has to be worth it. Something this small to spend that kind of money on, I was buying the amphibian and it was eating me up, and I said, fuck it, I'm going to buy it. And I bought it. I don't regret spending what I spent on it. So that tells me it's worth it. But I have to weigh this against the value of other things. So I look at knives like the Kanwu Padre that's less than $300, and the knife it's probably the most perfect knife I have here. There is nothing wrong with it. It is 100% perfect. The way it operates, how to open it, the front flipper works fantastic. The action, the build, the quality of the materials, it's perfect. It's 100% perfect. Every knife I have, I could nitpick something on. Like looking right now at just the top shelf, the Gungnir, it's pretty perfect. I would nitpick the hollow grind, how thin it is, because depending on how I use it, that could make it prone to chip. But it's pretty perfect. Action-wise, if it's clean, I just cleaned it maybe 2 weeks ago, disassembled it and cleaned it. When it's clean, the action is, it's just freakishly smooth. It is so smooth. It's beyond guillotine. It is just the tolerance of it, how the pivot barrel is and everything, the way it goes together, it's perfect. The handle on the Padre is actually not bad. It's really nice. My only and here's the thing. My only nitpick about this, like I want an Evo so bad, it's just ridiculous. I want one so bad. I don't spend that kind of money on knives anymore. I can't. But the shape of the handle is actually really nice. I don't typically like tapering down. I rather have taper up, um, which is why I think the Evo for me would be much better because it does have a little bit better uh, ergonomics to the handle. But man, less than $300, dude. This is fucking ridiculous for less than $300. It's I don't know, man. It just baffles me. It just baffles me. Every knife baffles me. It doesn't matter. It could be a $10 piece of shit from Amazon. It just baffles me because how do we spend what we spend on the shit that we shouldn't be spending what we're spending on? Like that's what I'm saying. Like the stovepipe, I would never buy a real one unless I knew I was getting a good price on it. What's a good price on it? Well, if it's anything like the clone, and that's weird to say that you would prefer the clone versus the real thing, but if it's anything like the clone, I'd probably spend $300 on it. I don't know if I would spend that much more on it because size wise, it's not worth it. Uh, the Build a Butcher for the real thing, if one came up that was appealing to me, I would spend what I would spend on it. But that's a custom. Same thing with knives like the Rad Cleaver or the Rad Shepherd. Um, you have to pay for the custom value of it. That's just the way it is. You can't get around that. I'm gonna spin the camera around again, guys. See if we can. Oh, hey, you get to see the bikini girl, you guys. A little bit of adult natured activity going on there for you. Let's see what we're gonna do here. That looks a little odd. Is the audio still good, guys? I'm sure monkeying around with the camera is probably messing it up a little bit. Unfortunately, I tried to work on getting StreamYard going so I could use two cameras, but what the hell's going on here? Well, it helps if you tighten it instead of loosening it. It's stupid. So, I'm going to spin the monitor around so I can see what we got going on here. Yeah, Paul, the McBee, if you're fighting in your head about the price, it's worth it. I think it's worth it. I put a winch clip on mine, which is kind of odd. It seems kind of odd because of the way it sticks out the butt end. Focus. My focus needs more focus. But it's cool. I like it. It sits perfect in the pocket now. It goes in the fifth pocket, just fantastic. The clip, it slides in great. But the other one, that the Maxi Striga, as small as it is, and I'm not into small knives. I don't like small knives. I like stuff that I can use. I need stuff in my hand for work. I need stuff that's in my I'm not going to lose it when I'm using it. I need something that has a strong grip to it. The little ones like the Devo Nip and these smaller ones, the McBee and the Striga, I use them because if I'm doing like opening packages or simple stuff like cutting plastic strapping, things like that, I'll use them. But otherwise, I I don't generally like them. Fifth pocket, I'll use them because I'll use those more out in public so people don't freak out when I whip out a bigger knife. Like I take the Sandstorm out and people lose their fucking minds. And to me, that's a normal knife. Like that's a normal size knife. What's there to freak out about? You know, it's people are stupid when it comes to knives. But anyhow, so as far as yeah. The XM18 I like. The two I have here are both clones. I have the XM18, the 3.0 Warney. That's really nice. I like it. This is about at the point of size wise for my EDC for like at work and stuff. That's about the smallest I would like to carry at work. This is a full size. This is a wild boar. Wild Boar, which is a clone company that I think this one came from DHgate. And I don't know if Wild Boar is still around, but I would assume they're the same manufacturer as the other clones. This one I like. I don't carry it very much. As I get new knives, I always carry those. And I'm getting a new knife almost every day, so every day I got something different. But at least for what's here, everything ends up back in rotation. So there's about 220 knives here that are actual rotation knives that I'll carry a different one every day, or a different two every day. Some I'll carry more than that, but I usually try to give everything its time. And it just depends, on the day. Yeah. People are fucking stupid. Don't get me started on that. That is the biggest part of my mental issues is people. My interactions with them, my thoughts on humans in general. I'm not going to get into that. That's a pretty hard discussion. Most of my psychological documentation is in the regard of antisocial issues, predominantly because I hate people. Just the knife topic itself, as far as people are concerned, people want to ban knives. People think knives are bad, blah, 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 blah. Just that alone is enough to fuel enough rage that I just want to go crazy and just wipe out half the planet. Because people are so fucking stupid about the dumbest shit. And it's always stuff that they don't know jack shit about. They don't know jack shit about it. This is why I don't like saying knives are fidgety. Knives are fidget toys. Because that right there in itself, it puts that little ideal in your head that you think a knife is a toy. That you think it's something to be played with. It's not. It's a fidget. If you're going to say it's fidgety, it's a fidget tool. It's something that you use because you need it. You have ADD, ADHD, you need a fidget toy. Instead of using a fidget toy, use a knife because it's fidgety. It's not a toy, it's a tool. For me, it's a tool, it's not a weapon. I spent half my life in the martial arts. I know how to use knives as a weapon. I know how to use swords as a weapon. There's not a sharp thing on this planet that I don't know how to use as a weapon. It's not a weapon, though, because I don't use it like that. I never would use it like that. If I'm going to do something to somebody, it's going to be with my hands and my feet. I'll give you the knife to make it fair. I don't want a knife in my hand when I'm fighting. It's useless to me. I'm going to use my hands and my feet, and you're going to come away with worse damage than you would that if I used a knife. I can guarantee that. It's not a weapon; it's a tool. I use knives for tools, and that's it. I wouldn't even have the thought cross my mind to use it as a weapon, even though I'm formally trained to use it as a weapon. I wouldn't. The thought never crosses my mind, and I hate that people use that. I understand people use it, military, whatever, but to me, it's a tool. I take it to work. I use it for work. And like I said, Crazy Roach, the handle on the Padre, it looks it looks like you wouldn't like it, but when you get it in hand and when you use the knife, um, and not just for cutting open boxes, I take it to work. I use it for work, and when I say work, I mean work. I cut plastic strapping with it. I cut rubber hose with it. I cut PVC pipe with it. The Padre in particular, I've cut wire with it, 16 gauge wire. I've cut signal wire with it. I've cut cable ties with it. Um, I cut the wire channel for one of the machines I cut with it. I had to notch out the channel, so I cut that, and that's hard plastic. I don't I don't give a shit what the knife costs. If it's in my pocket and I use it for work, I'm going to use it. I don't give a fuck what I'm doing with it. If it gets damaged, it gets damaged. If it don't, it don't. It's just the way it is. But the knife, in pretty much any position that I would have it for work, uh, inverted or backwards for pull cuts or whatever, it's been comfortable. I haven't felt any hot spots or anything like that that would cause me to find issue with the handle. The handle's a good shape. It's a good shape, and it's done right. Like the diamond pattern on it, it's not rough. It's perfect for grip, but it's not pointy. Like it's not going to rip your skin off or not like that. It's soft. Um, no, I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, the Build a Butcher. So obviously this is a clone, but the general size of a butcher, that's about it. That's about what you're going to find for the customs is that size. The stovepipe, which I'm assuming they did it because they didn't want to make something that big, and because um, I mean maybe they might have had something with them in Kingdom Armory that they couldn't make it that size or whatever. But to me, that's too big. For Spyderco, that's too big. The stovepipe, for Spyderco making something, the stovepipe, the way they made it, it's probably about as perfect size as it would get for something from them. Um, but the stovepipe, uh, it's like this. The Build a Butcher, it is kind of like this is my size. This is an Ed knife, and apart from the only thing that's like wrong with it as far as it goes is they don't have the collar to use as the blade stop. The Kingdom Armory, the Build a Butcher, it has collars on it, and the collar acts as the blade stop, just like on the stovepipe. That pivot collar, um, that's your blade stop. That's your over travel stop, not your blade stop. Your lock bar stop. So you don't unspring the lock. This one doesn't have it, but the way the clip is, it sits on the lock bar, so there's a little bit of extra pressure, so that way you don't overspring the lock bar, like you hit the clip, so it's not that bad. Um, as far as other clones go, like I say, the two Curtis clones. This is the Ethan Grow version. This is the Tactical Gears version. I can swap these blades and they're identical. They don't. There's no blade rock. There's no detent latch. There's nothing there. It's so identical. It's not even funny. They obviously came out of the same factory. Two different knives, but exactly the same. And as far as clones go, they're nice. I like them. I use them. I don't have any problems with them. Do I like Curtis knives? Yeah, I like Curtis knives. Do I like Curtis knives prices? No, I don't. And that's the thing. Even if I had the money, I still probably wouldn't spend that kind of money on them. You got to do something to make me think it's worth it for it to be worth it. You just can't make a knife and it's worth whatever. Look at Benchmade, and I don't give a shit if Benchmades cost $10. I hate Benchmade knives. The Benchmades, the real Benchmades that I've had, they're crap. I don't know why everybody goes gaga over them. Use them for work. I had 3, and this is going years back, probably 20, 25 years ago, which I'm sure steel's better now. I don't care. This is one of them fool me once, shame on you type of things. I've had 3 different Benchmates have the blade snap in half by doing routine things at work. And I'm talking about routine, like cutting plastic strapping off of a crate or notching out PVC or something like that. Snap in half. It's just, I'm at this point, I don't fuck Benchmade. If there's a knife I like and there's a clone, I'm going to buy the clone. Benchmade could eat my dick. Yeah, the hole on it is pretty good. It's a nice, it works out great, but every once in a while, if you're not thinking, you get your finger stuck in there. It takes a little bit of practice to get used to it. Yeah, Mike, I hate to say it. I really don't hate Benchmade as much as I say I do, but I haven't in the past maybe 15 years or so. I haven't seen a Benchmade yet that I think is worth the price. And I just, for what they are, for what you get, the clones are perfect. I hate to say it. There's nothing apart from maybe the look of the hardware, what type of hardware they use, what type of steel they use for the blade. You are 100% better off buying the clones and not spending that kind of money. That's just it. And if I have to hear one more thing about the Ritter Hogue, first of all, that knife is fucking ugly. It's standard at best. It is such a boring, played-out design. It's stupid. People that love it, hey, more power to you. You love what you love. I hate what I hate. That's just the way it is. We all have our opinions. And my opinion don't mean jack shit. But that Ritter Hogue, fuck that knife. No offense to Doug Ritter, but no, fuck that piece of shit. Benchmade can fuck off. Spyderco, their prices over the past 25 years, they can fuck off too. I've got a Crooked River clone that I don't give a fuck what you can make that thing out of fucking gold. It ain't worth shit. I'd rather have the clone. And I hate to say it because that just justifies companies making clones, that people are willing to buy them and like them better than the real thing. I hate it, but I don't. Like, that's not my fight, and I don't give a shit. As long as there's knives out there, I'm gonna buy what I buy. I don't give a fuck if it's real or not. I've got too many knives. I've got way too many knives in my collection. Way too many. That I just will never use. They're safe queens. They'll always be safe queens. I'll never touch them. I'll stare at them. I'll fondle them, but they'll never touch paper. They'll never do anything. I've got knives that I've never even taken out of the box yet. They're in my collection because I thought when I bought them, they'd be worth something. Hopefully they are. Hopefully they're not. I don't know. Every once in a while, like I just recently sold something out of my collection that I preferred not to, but I knew it would sell because I knew somebody was asking me for it. That they've been asking me for it for quite a few years now. And I just finally said, fuck it. I had medical bills come up. I had to do it. I didn't have a choice. There's a few other knives, they're the same. People know I have them. They want them. I don't want to sell them. I just don't. Whether they're worth what they are or not. Paul, I'm going to punch you right in the fucking nose. That's exactly what goes off in my head when I think about that bullshit knife is MC. Every fucking time. And I know it's a size comparison knife, and it's good because everybody knows how big it is, and that. Good God, if I hear that again, every fucking video, I know it's coming, and I just cringe every time. Oh, in this case, okay. Thank you. I'm going to turn off the video and go jump off the roof now. Crazy. Drives me nuts. Tell you what I really like. I really like this. I'm actually going to spin the camera around because I'm getting sick of reaching over. I'm getting too old for this shit. All right, where are we at here? And here is a lovely picture of my garbage can. Why am I stuck? I'm stuck! I'm stuck! Oh, shit. Damn it. Well, now the lock knob, I'm gonna try tripod's broke. It's not good. It's not good at all. What the hell is going on here? All this expensive gear and none of it works right. It's because I'm a talentless slob. That's what it is. So this one I got from crap, now I can't think of it. Focus! Is the audio good, guys? Nah, listen, Paul, believe me, that fucking... I got issues with every reviewer. There's always some little nitpick, but that in particular, only because, and it's not his fault. I'm sick of hearing about that knife. Everybody loves it, and I just can't stand it. It's fucking, it's basic. It's like the most basic thing. Everybody goes crazy for it. I just don't want to hear about it anymore. And his videos, every video. And I understand it's his size comparison knife, and he's used to it. I just don't want to hear it. It drives me insane. And I'm already insane. I don't need to be any more insane. But anyhow, this I got from one of the guys on Discord. And focus. Why is this thing being a piece of shit? Give me a second, guys. I'm going to flip something and we might lose you. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Maybe that works out. There we go. This is a EDC Lion. Vlad, what the hell is his name? Vlad. He called it the Prototype Zero, I believe. And I can't for the life of me remember who the fuck I got this from. someone on the Discord, and was it Jaden? Possibly. I think. Yep, it was Jaden. And I traded him the mini Buster for it, and I love it. I would love if the handle was a little bit thinner and the blade was a little bit longer to have a better blade to handle ratio, but this is a fantastic knife, man. I love it. I love it. It's got a little bit of lock stick to it. I haven't tuned it out yet. I did work on it a little bit, made it a little bit better, but so far it hasn't bothered me enough to give a shit about it, to be honest. It's a nice knife. It really is. And, if it's technically a custom or not, I'm not really sure. I don't think he made many of them, if he made any at all besides this one. I messaged him on Instagram, and he responded back with a little bit of information on it. I didn't ask about it being a one-off or not, but it's a great knife. It's got crazy hardware. It's got like T15 or T20 on the handle scales. 15. Yep, T15 on the scales. And then underneath, what the hell? Let's take the handle. Let's do a little bit of knife surgery. I love this little CRKT driver. This thing it's fantastic. I hate myself a little bit for not using the good screw as much as I should, but the good screw, the problem with that is it's a little bit too smooth. So if there's hardware that's really tight, it's kind of hard to get a good enough grip to untighten. But I love this thing, man. This thing is awesome. Just the fidgetiness of it, the usability. It is a really good tool, and I use it all the time. But like I say, for tight stuff, I go with the CRKT because it gives a little bit better grip. And then I believe that these are T10s. Yep, T10. This is titanium. And the funny thing about it is with the scales off, because it's still put together with the pivot and the barrel screws, the backspacer screws, you can actually use it without the scales on it. It's a little weird, but it's actually kind of cool. But it's a great knife. He called this Russian micarta, which is weird because maybe they call G10, maybe they call it Russian micarta, but this feels like G10. Like it's so. I don't know what every single micarta looks like, but linen micarta, burlap micarta, resin bond. There's all different kinds, but this is really good material, and I like it. I like the look. I wish the red was a little bit brighter just to make it a little bit more enhanced, to make it look a little bit better. But in live, not on the camera, live looking at it, it's fantastic. It's beautiful. And I love this thing. I think the blade is great. I would love if it would, like I say, if it was just a little bit longer, to have a little bit better blade to handle ratio. But the only reason I feel like that is because, like I say, the handle itself is so thick that it kind of begs to have a little bit bigger knife, a little bit bigger blade in it. But I gotta say, given the choice between this and the Mini Buster, I like this way better. And the Mini Buster was a fantastic knife. Fantastic knife. Only thing is, um, the flipper tab wasn't jimped, and you could slip off of it super easy. But you could finger flick it off the blade. So the flipper, I wasn't using the flipper, flipper versus finger flick. I was using the finger flick a lot more, so it didn't bother me that the flipper tab was, so hard to use. But yeah, I love this thing. I think it's awesome. Got a little, the little hoodie guy on it. Which this thing, it's so cool. Like, how can you not like lanyard beads? Even if you don't put lanyards on your knife, make a keychain out of it. It's just so cool. The way it it reminds me of I know what you did last summer or something like that, where you got the guy in the hood and you don't know who it is. It's just cool. This is probably, I think, the third or fourth one I've got. I got a bunch of knives with them on it. But then I'm gonna give you guys a little mermaid. This is my knife disassembly area. Usually the mouse pad is up here, but I took it down because of the cable for the cameras there. But we can put a little. Oh, you guys can have this one too. The little $10 Amazon letter opener, which is a shitty blade steel, but still it's nice. I just don't keep, I don't maintain it enough to give it a sharp enough edge to give a shit about. But I did again. Big fat ass running around in here. The Discord is hard to follow sometimes. Only the times that I actually get a decent amount of sleep and I wake up after about 4 hours and I look at the Discord and there's too much shit. Luckily, some of it is stuff that I wouldn't follow anyway, so I just kind of scroll past it, but it's hard sometimes. It's hard to keep. It's like trying to keep track of an MC live chat. You just can't do it. There's like 8 million people in there trying to chat at the same time. You can't keep track of shit. Yeah, that bead I found on Amazon. There's a seller called Flame Duke. And lately, so I used to get all of my beads from Ivy Craftsman on Etsy, which she has a ton of stuff, and I still get stuff from her. It's just the time of getting it, it's a slow boat from China type of thing. And this one, I just got another one. I've got maybe 2 or 3 of those. That one I put on, I believe I put that one on the Medford, which, yep, here it is. Give me a second and I'll show you guys that, because I found out something about that one too that's pretty cool. But this guy, Flame Duke, depending on which one it is, usually you get it next day or a couple of days, so they come pretty quick. And he's got a lot of really nice ones. I've done this one a couple of times. I just did another new one. These 2 here with the horns I've done a bunch of these. He's got one that's got like and I just ordered another one of these too, with a little cigar, like a little rockabilly kind of look to it. But he had a new one on here that's like a skull with a spider on its head that looks really cool that I got. This one. Which is pretty cool. But the hoodie one, I think so far He's the only one I've seen that has it, I think. I don't think I've seen it from anybody else. Yep, there it is. And you get it one day. You get it tomorrow. They're cool. I like them. The first one I got to put on a Max 6 Rock. And it was, it's cool. I just like that it's I just like that it's like you can see through to the cord, So if you put the right kind of cord on it, that's what I'm going to show you. Like the one I got on the Medford now, I'll show you. If you got the right kind of cord, but you guys might not be able to see it. But this one I made with black cord, but I sleeved white inside so you can see it. And it gives it a little bit better look. Like you can actually see, like it kind of almost looks glow in the dark kind of in there. But on the black bead, the black cord, I mean, if all you saw was the black cord, it would just be too dark in there. You wouldn't get the same effect. And I have another one that I don't remember which knife it's on. If you guys want to give me a second, let me see if I can dig it out. I got to think about what knife it's on. If it's on a Tucson, I think. I don't remember. But the cord that it's on, you really can't see. That's why I tried the white, because I wanted to see if you could see it, and it came out pretty good. The other one, because of the color of the cord, which I think was the smoked lava color. I got to think about what knife it's on. I want to say it's on a Tucson. Yeah, the one with the tooth. I think I have two of those now because I got the first one and thought it was really cool. That I think is on the, not on the Penguin Large. All right, you guys are going on a little travel here again. Get out of the way. Let's see. All right. Gonna just rearrange a couple of things really quick so I don't bang into the drawer again. So the lanyard, this one with the white in it, I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to do a little lanyard thing in a minute. I'm going to show you guys because anybody that's interested in lanyards, I got a couple of things that I do with lanyards that nobody else does. The one technique is something that I came up with myself. So you see this one. This one's on the rock, and like I say, you can see through it. But if it was a lighter color, it might look a little bit better. I didn't want to do it with the hoodie guy because I like that dark, like that mood, like it gives you that weird, like creepy kind of mood. But the other, I can't remember which one it's on. I really can't. I usually am pretty good about remembering what's on what. But that one, and this one with the spider on his head, that's on the, fuck, I can't remember the name of it. The Civivi. I can't remember the name of it. But this is a cool knife too. It really is. It's great in the hand. It's a great design. It just looks cool with the little jimping on it. It's not really jimping technically, but all right. I'm pretty sure that one's on a Tucson. If I could remember which one. Because I'm an idiot and I got too much shit. Too many knives. Too many knives. Too many knives. It's on Tucson, isn't it? Now I gotta dig out all the damn Tucsons. Tucson. Oh, and I can't reach the camera to zoom it out for you guys. Hang on a second. The joys of not being able to use two cameras. You guys can still hear me good, I hope. I'm sitting on the floor right now. Paul, have a good day. See you later, man. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I can't remember what the hell, which one that's on. But like I say, if you see, like looking at the one with the hoodie, you can see the dark cord, how it really makes that darker in there where you can't see inside. But at least for the one that I put on the Medford, I like the look of it. But the tooth one, I don't remember which one it's on. Oh shit, here it is right here. It's on the Bravo 1. I knew I had it. I was way off on the Tucson thing. That's what happens when you got 6 million Tucsons. But you can see even the purple and light, it's a little bit brighter, but you can't see in there. So you kind of lose the effect of it. Whereas on the Medford with the white, let's see if I can get these together. In focus. You know, you can see it better. So you get a little bit better, like a 3D effect to it almost, to where you're seeing inside. Yeah, my setup has changed. I used to use cardboard, and it was a lot easier to do it because then I could space everything out according to the size of the knife. The problem with doing that now, if I have things that are, like I try to keep every brand together. The problem with doing that is, as I get more and more new knives in, and I rearrange stuff, it's harder to do that. So I've had to, like the Kaisers, the Sativians, I didn't really care about. Those were always kind of laid out goofy. But if everything was separate, and I didn't try to keep all the brands together, the dividers would come out even. I could measure them out and just put them out even. The problem is if I do certain knives, and I have the certain knives in the back, with the cardboard I would have it separate. So there would be nothing in the middle, and I would just have knives laid in there. But I'd be able to tailor it so everything would fit. Now, as it is, the ones on the end here, because I started from the right and went to the left, there's a big ass gap in here. But what I did with that was, I just put the two penguins in there side by side, and it fit. So now I switched them. What do I have in there now? Well, the Sativian, a couple of Sativians. And I don't remember where I put the penguins. But anyhow, so what we're going to do, I'm going to show you guys really quick some lanyard tying. Hopefully, you guys, anybody, at least one person would be interested in seeing that kind of thing. I originally started doing it only because I wasn't into fidgets back then, and I needed something to help with ADD. So I started making keychains, um, just really just to see if I could, and to have something on my keychain, and to have something to do with my hands. And it just, for some reason, I started putting them on my knives, and now it's kind of a habit now. Which to me, um, I have a usefulness for them on the knife, because at work a lot of time I'm got gloves on. I'm greasy, I'm dirty. A lot of knives now with deep carry clips and whatnot, it's too hard to get them out of the pocket. And usually when I'm working, um, the time that I need to get the knife out, I need to get it out. Like, I can't fuck around. I don't have that chance. And it's more than likely, um, I got to do it one-handed. I can't use two hands. That's why I like knives on bearings, because you get better action. It closes easier. It closes quicker. I got to do all this stuff one-handed. I can't dick around. Um, I'm just going to grab a piece of paracord here really quick. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys right off the bat. I'm going to show you a way to do a couple of things as far as multicolors go. There's methods of doing paracord, and I'm sure Alice will have the same. She'll have the same information as far as what's called the Manning method, and how to weld two cords together and things like that. What I do is a little bit different, and it's actually a lot different. I won't say a little. I'll use the Manning method sometimes, but more than not, I use my own method because it's way stronger, it's way cleaner. It's a little bit harder to do, but in the end, it comes out worth the time to do it. And what you'll need is your two different colors of cord, and you'll need a knotter's tool, or at least not the tool itself, but you'll need a fid, because you're gonna basically. Give me a second, guys. Let me move you a little bit. A little bit more over here. Get rid of the garbage can so you don't have to see it. So I have two different colors of cord. First thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to singe the ends on this because I'm going to use it, but first thing I'll do is I'll show you guys really quick. Basically, what they call a Celtic knot. It's not really, but it's just the basic knot, and that's good for. Let's see, how about this one? So, like what's on the sandstorm, and basically, if you're doing like a multi bead. This one I have spaced apart because when you put lanyards on the backspacer or on the barrel, you need it to be a little bit floppy so it lays off on your pocket. But otherwise, so you do these knots, and they're like spacers for going in between the beads. But you can use them for anything. They're usually used for zipper pulls. Um, but what you're going to do, and these are all online, you can find them all online. But what you're going to do is you're going to put this, basically put it around your finger. You can do anything. I could put it around my monkey fist tool, but I just do it around my finger. And you can do it off your finger. You just have to know where the knots are going. It's way easier to do it on your finger. So you're going to take the one on the right, make a loop, and then twist it over. So you basically have a loop, but then you flip it over. You're going to take your left line, and you're going to go in under this one. Okay. So then this hole here, you're going to put that one through. The same one. The one that you did on the left, you're going to put it through there. So you're going to go behind this and then to the back. And that was all done with your left. Then your right, you're going to go around the back and you're going to go through here. So you're going under the strand that's on the left of your finger and through the hole. And all you have to do is just pull it tight. Give it a little roll. Get it snug. There you go. The length of it here for the loop, what's going on the knife, you make that to fit the knife, whatever knife you're going to put it on. And all you have to do, I use little needle nose pliers, is just take your strands and just draw them in. Sorry. To make that loop as long or as short as you want. And you just go through where that one strand is. And then as you're doing that, you can also make the knot a little bit tighter. So it's it doesn't have any loose strands to it or anything like that. And you're just following that one cord where it goes through and just taking the slack out. So now your loop is shorter. And then you would slide your bead on. Then you would do another one of these. Or like I say, you just wrap it around your finger, make that loop, flip it over. Your left line is going to go in. Then it's going to go behind the right one into the back. Then your right one is going to go in behind that left strand and through the middle. And then you'll just, same thing, you'll just draw it up. And as far down as it is on the line, it doesn't matter because you'll just take and, like wherever your bead lands, you'll just take and where your cord is, you'll just cinch it up like I did. So now what I'm going to do, what I did for the bead on the Medford, I'm going to show you guys the technique that I use for that is the same as I use for putting two colors together. And so like if you did the bead, this is what you would do to get that color in there, super easy. You're basically just sleeving it in. But this is the same technique as I use for putting two different cords together. And what it'll do, it is going to make one side thicker, but when it's on the knife or on your keys or whatever, you won't notice it. It won't make a difference. And the way you can overcome that is you can take the core out of your inner strand, It'll make it a little bit thinner, but it's really not necessary. So I have a small piece of black. I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter, just so for the sake of seeing it, it's a little bit easier. So I have a piece of black. I'm going to take all the core out. You don't need it. And what you can do with the core actually is save these strands, because if you have a knife that has a smaller hole on it, you can pass this through the hole and put your lanyard through there. So let's say you got your lanyard already made, you want to put it through the knife, but it's too thick to go through the hole. Put this through the hole, put it into the lanyard, and then put it through the other side of the hole. Then you can use this to pull through, and it'll help pull the lanyard through the knife. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the colored strand, and I am going to singe the one end so that the core doesn't come all the way out. I don't want the core to come out on this one. And I'm just using a little, $5, $10 torch from Lanyards. The other one I have, this one's a little bit more expensive, but it's also like a million times stronger. So, but what you're going to do is you're going to make just a little point. So pull a little bit of the core out, cut it off, and then slide the outer part back in. So now that core, it's right here. So this is just the outer sheathing. And what I can do is singe it and make a point out of it, or at least try to make a point out of it. If it doesn't work, I'll snip it and do it again. Tyler, we are making homemade cock rings, but I usually make mine in the extra large size because, I don't want to brag, but for you, what I'll do later is I'll do the extra tiny need tweezers to find it class. You can be in on that one. So you're going to make a point out of this. And the reason is because what you're going to do is you're going to take a fid, which is basically a knitting needle, really, to be honest. Like a knotter's tool, it'll come with 3 of them in there, 3 different sizes. Use the middle size. They have thread in the hole, so you can take the paracord and thread it in there so it stays tight. It won't come off. So if you make that point to where this will go in, which I didn't, but I have a way to fix that too. So what you'll do, it's already singed. I'm going to cut it in half on a diagonal. I'm gonna cut a little bias in it, if it works. And I'm going to singe it again and try to roll it again so it's a little bit smaller, a little bit tighter pinch in there, which it didn't. So we'll just do it again. And really, you're only doing that so you can get it fed into the hole in the fid and then thread it in, which isn't going to work because I think I got the core out. And before you ask, yes, it does hurt. You do get burned. But most of the time I do it to where I won't get burned. Every once in a while I do come out with paracord burned to my fingers. So I typically try to just lick my fingers before I grab the cord. That way I don't burn myself too much. Basically, you've got your main line, whatever, I don't know what you would call it. You have your piece that you took the core out of. You're going to stick the fid inside. Some cord, it's a little bit wider, a little bit easier to slide on. Sometimes it's not, but you're just going to slide it on. And depending how tight it is, like this black is kind of tight, you're just going to keep sliding it on. I should have picked a different color. This one's being a little stubborn. But you'll push it on to get slack and then pull it through. Yep, see, this isn't going to work. The black is going to be stubborn. So, I'm going to grab a different color. I'm going to grab the white because I know that one's a little bit better to work with. The only other thing you could do is use the smaller size fid, which just makes it a little bit harder because you won't be able to get the thickness of the cord into it, to thread into it. You really have to be pretty good with how you twist the end, how you make it a point on the cord to get it to feed in there. I'm going to try it real quick just to see, but chances are it might not work. But we shall see. Come on, Tyler. It doesn't have to be microscopic. Your dick ain't that small, is it? I mean, I can make it big, so you can feel like you're big. At least you can tell the girls you're big. So right now I'm just trying to thread it into the fid. This is the smallest one. And like I say, the thickness of it, it's just depends on if you can get the thread in and stay in there while you're feeding the other cord over it. Because the first couple of times you do it, it is going to break off of there halfway through when you're doing it, and it's going to piss you off. But you basically feed. Believe me, guys, I've done this enough that I know all the tricks of how it's going to piss you off before it pisses you off. But you're going to feed that on there. And then just, like, you can singe this end while it's still on the fid. But to do it here on the cord, it'll make it seal a little bit on the cord. Just be careful you don't melt your cord. So now basically you have two colors in one. And then you can make your lanyard, which this is going to be a small one. But if you do just a basic snake knot, so what I do is I have the loop on the bottom. Let me cut this a little bit shorter. And snake knots are super easy, super easy. Just put one in front and bring it around the back. Take the other one, put it behind it, put it through. Basically make a knot. And you cinch it tight. How is this? A paracord. And you just put as many as you want on there, doing the same exact thing. Bring it around the back, bring this one around the back and into the hole. And to make it the length you want, like the size of the loop, all you're going to do, and this is what I do when I put the two together, is you're going to push this in and pull it down with your fingers. That's so you can cinch your knots together. Okay. Now you have two colors. Now this part here, I would do it so that that's in the middle, So when it's on the knife, it's in the middle, it looks better. And if you're putting this on a knife, if you're putting it in the hole, um, some knives you just don't have a choice. You have to make it on the knife. You can't make it and put it in because the hole's too small. Well, like the McBee, that hole is too small to fit 2 strands in, so you have to tie it on the knife. And what you'll do is you'll just make 2 snake knots up close. Otherwise, what will happen is the bigger this hole is, the lanyard will be able to slip past the scale and interfere with the knife opening and closing. So you make that, and then you just give it a little tail, so when it's in your pocket, it hangs loose. And then you do whatever, knots or beadwork or whatever you're going to do, you do after that. So this, on something like that, I would do it so that gathering weld, whatever the hell you want to call it, is in the hole. So you don't see it. You'll just see the colors. The other method for putting cord together is called the Manny method. I sometimes use it. I don't prefer it. It's good for. I mean, it's good. It looks good if you do it right. But basically the same thing. You're going to use a fid, and what you're going to do is you're going to have a small length of the cord. You'll take and you'll have the fid in the cord. So you're basically having a piece of the cord overlap one, and then the other end is going to go through and it's going to overlap the other. I'm going to do it really quick. It's a pain in the ass. But I'll show you. You want to have the core pulled out a little bit so it's just the outer sheathing. And what you'll do is you'll do the same thing. You'll have a piece of cord that you can put in the fid. And this is where you really need a fid because you won't be able to do it with anything else. There's no way of getting the cord in there and not leaving a monster size hole and not screwing up the cord. But same thing, you'll just try to thread your cord in there. And you're basically going to push it in and push it through there. So you see how it's in. And what's going to happen is this end and this end, you're going to do the same thing. So you're going to have, well, I'm going to take this core out. This is only for practice, so it's not going to matter. But what you're going to do is you're going to do the same thing on this end. You're going to have the color go through, and you'll pull it in. This one, I haven't used this method in a while. I don't prefer it. For certain things, I'll use it, but most of the time I use my own method because it works out better for me. The only thing with this method is it's just like I say, it's just a little bit of a pain in the butt. Remembering which way to do it. I think I'm going backwards here. Yeah, I think I'm doing it backwards. What the hell am I doing? It's been a while. Yeah, I think the black goes in here. So And again, this is called the Manny method. You can Google it. It's on YouTube. There's probably plenty of people that do it better than I do. I don't typically use this technique, but I think I am doing it backwards. What the hell? Well, screw it. We're not going to do this one because I can't remember which way, unless I am doing it right. Poke this one in here. Oh, I should have used a smaller one. Oh, there we go. And you pull it together. There you go. Manny method. And just get the ends so they're not frayed. There you go. Manny method. Which, like I say, I like mine better. It's a cleaner look. It's a little bit easier to do. Roughly the same results, but mine is a little bit better look because it's only 1 point of color change and not 3. Other than that, another thing is the different knots. There's millions of knots you can do. For knives, I usually do the more basic ones, like I'll do snake knots, I'll do cobra knots. It depends on the knife. I have some that I have square sennits on. There are some that are crown sennits, whatever. Those are really thick, but it depends on preference and it depends on what you want on whatever particular knife. But basically, like I say, the basic snake knot, you're just basically making like a single knot, like tying your shoelaces type of knot. And like I say, depending on how long or short you want, just push to get slack in it, pull it down with your fingers. That way you'll make it shorter, longer, shorter, depending on where you want to start out. Then after that, you just do however many you want. If you're going to put a bead on it, or depending on what knife you're putting it on, like what kind of length you want, you always want to make it in a way where how it sits on the knife, it's not tight enough to the knife where it doesn't fold over. Otherwise, it'll stick out like this out of your pocket, or it won't bend where you want it to. Most of the time, most lanyards, if they're the kind that you can loop in without tying in, they'll lay flat no matter what. It just depends on how you put them in the knife. So, like this, it's pushed in, so both strands fit in the lanyard hole, and then you just feed your lanyard into that loop. But you're always going to feed it from the show side, so that your loop, your knot, is going to naturally make the lanyard fold down. If you have that backwards, it's harder for it to fold down, so it's going to stick up. It's going to stick proud. So you see where this loop is. If this is on the clip side, where it folds over, it's going to be a little bit more pronounced out of the pocket than if it's here. So you have your pocket here, you have your lanyard. What do I have that I can use as a pocket? How about towel. Let me use that. So if it's in your pocket, it's laying flat against the pocket. And obviously, some beads are going to ding into your clip. If you don't give a shit about it, then you don't give a shit about it. If you do, don't put beads on your clips. But how that hangs, if your loop is on the wrong side, and obviously there's no clip on this side, but what's going to happen is that loop is going to make it sit a little bit proud off of your pocket, which doesn't matter, but I like it to lay as flat as it can. So that's how I put them in. Oh, speaking of big knives, how about the amphibian, which is a pretty freaking damn good knife. I like it. I like it a lot. I like the MSI clone that I have. But after getting this and feeling how Microtech does it, it's not like super different, but you can tell. Like you can tell the ram lock is done a little bit better. This one actually has the tiniest bit of stick to it, which I kind of prefer, at least for this. For the ram lock, I prefer it. But it's I like it. I like it a lot. I don't typically like coated blades. I always prefer a stonewash blade over a satin blade. But, you get what you get when, whoever makes whatever they make the way they make it. But this one, I love the black. I love the coated blade. I think it's awesome. The way they did it, like a little tuxedo here with the flats being satin. I love this knife. And of course, it got the hard to tell, but this is basically what I'm thinking, a predator eating a skull, which is pretty damn cool. And this is another Flame Duke. And you think about like the size of the bead and how thick it is. Like you can't tell, but it's pretty thick build for $10. And that's the thing that drives me nuts too about lanyard beads. The ones that you see that are $50-$60 and titanium and blah 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 blah, they ain't worth it. They're not worth it. There are so many beads out there. Go to Ivy Craftsman on Etsy. Fucking go to anybody on Etsy. You find these same exact beads for $10-$15 and they're the same exact thing. The only difference is whoever put their name on it. That's all it is. You're going to spend spider call money on a knife that doesn't deserve that kind of money. You know what I'm saying? You're going to spend Benchmade money on a knife that doesn't deserve that kind of money. It's the same thing with beads. You're going to spend Met and Boss price on a bead that doesn't deserve Met and Boss price. It doesn't compute when it's the same damn bead as everybody else. You're paying for the name or what? What are you paying for? Is it made out of gold? Is it made out of sterling silver? No. It's made out of whatever the fuck they make them out of, pewter or hell, I don't even know. And don't say, yeah, they make them in titanium and it's worth it. No, because I have titanium beads that I spent $10 or $15 on that people are selling for $50. It doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the other cool thing about the Padre is you can finger flick off the blade, which I love. And the front flipper, I just missed it there, but this, front flippers. What's the one I just got? And the fucking flipper is so perfect. Oh my God, which one was that? The Kaiser, the Veritas. Oh my God. That front flipper is so perfect. It's so perfect. It's beyond perfect. The Veritas, who did I get that from? Oh, who did I get that from? I got that from, did I get that from Mike? I don't remember. The Splinter I got from Junior Ms. I think the Veritas I got from Mike. Yeah, pretty sure. Got it from Mike McLaughlin. Fantastic knife. Incredible knife. The front flipper is perfect. Do I know how to run a giveaway? No. I don't think I do. I would assume you have to have one of them name picker things. All I have is a nose picker thing. Just pick my nose. Give me a second. I gotta put some knives away. And get the Veritas, which is right here. And I'm assuming Mike did the ano on it, which is pretty damn good. I like the color. But this front flipper, and I don't mind front flippers. It's not really my first choice. And it has the finger flicking hole, which works. It's a little bit difficult trying to do it with damn camera, but this front flipper, it's like, it's a no-brainer, dude. It's like fucking perfect. You can't even, like I was flipping it at work the other day, and I'm just standing there finger flicking. I'm like, it's so perfect. It's perfect. It's I don't know what it is. This knife, really, honestly, if it had a little like Vero type of flipper to it, like that little subdued flipper, it would be 200% perfect. The knife as it is right now, just the front flipper, the finger flick, it's like even the Padre. Sometimes the front flipper, I can't get it. It's just the way I grab it out of my pocket to do it. This thing every time, it's so perfect. Except for when I get it stuck in my palm. But it works so good. And the knife itself, it's super light, which I would prefer it to be a little bit heavier, but yeah, Kaiser Veritas. And the ano, I love this pattern. The pattern's cool. Just little triangles, but the way it's laid out, it's so cool. But this purple that he did, it's fantastic. The color lanyard I put on, I think that it just, like certain times when I'm making lanyards, there's times where I'm just doing it just to make them, and I put them in my organizer and save them for later. And there's times when I see a knife, I know exactly what's going on it. Like certain beads, I know what knife I want to put on them, but certain knives, I purposely look for beads. Like I'll either have beads in my organizer that I'll see the knife and immediately think, hey, that bead's going to go on it. There's other ones that, like the stovepipe. When I bought the Build a Butcher clone, I started looking for a bead that had a top hat because I was thinking about the Gangs of New York, where they were all wearing top hat. Like Build a Butcher, he was wearing top hat. Everyone was wearing top hats. And I came across one with the skull smoking the pipe. When I went to buy the stovepipe clone, I just automatically, immediately said, it's going to get the same exact thing that the Build a Butcher has. So I had to purposely find that bead, which took a while because where I got it from, they didn't have it anymore. and I couldn't find the damn thing. I finally found it on AliExpress and said, "Fuck it, I'll wait the China, slow boat from Chinatown to get it, just to get it." But all right. Give me a second. What do you got here? Max Ace Vortex. Give me a second, guys. I want to catch up on the chat, and I want to look up what the Max Ace Vortex is. Let's Google it. Google is your friend. Max Ace Vortex. Max Ace Vortex. Vortex. I'm assuming that's not the one you have. Holy shit. Max, hey, some of the knives, yeah, they deserve the price for Max Ace. Max Ace makes a fucking incredible knife. Nothing found? Okay. Let's go back. Blade HQ. They make a budget version of this. That I gotta see. Don't get out of here. Oh, holy shit. I'll be damned. You learn something new every day. Yeah, what the hell? Yeah, I don't know about brown my card though. That's a crazy design too. That's a big boy. I love those District 9 knives too, man. Things like Beard of Doom does. The ones that he shows out, those things are fucking phenomenal. But the price, I just can't do it. It's actually not a bad looking knife. Looks like it's fucking huge though. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's a big boy. I want to try one of these SLD Magic Blades too. I want to get the Goliath that has it. I know they did a Goliath too, but they did it with the SLD Magic. Yeah, really, the prices aren't that bad either. I just want to try the blade. I want to try the steel. Because I'm thinking it's a sandwich steel, isn't it? All right, let's see. Yeah, the Veritas is fucking crazy. Giveaway budget vortex. Name in a hat. Not many watching. Yeah, that's what I say when I got my dick in my hand. I handle it for a little while, and I say I'm done, and I go eat some. Number game. Well, yeah, I can pick a number. So what is oh, my Instagram? My Instagram is thatisfuckinginsane.com. What's my Instagram? My Instagram is hello. Is at Urban Photo. It is the single most greatest Instagram ever in the history of man. If it's the history of the man that's sitting in his chair right now because it's really not that good. My Instagram is basically just my random insanity dumped onto a website. What you guys really should see is my Flickr. There's some pretty good stuff for everybody on my Flickr. There's knives, there's cars, there's animals, there's pretty little girls. Pretty little girls. I don't know if we're supposed to show them live, but there's a lot of random insanity in here too. Oh, I forgot I got a paracord album. Look at that. Yes, see, this is a very, very tiny sampling of what's usually here. I've got a whole box of it. Every time I make something, I just throw it in the box. Monkey fist, all that shit. Yeah, it just one of those things that started out as nothing and became an obsession. But I like it. I like making them. Putting on knives, I like only because most of the time they do serve a purpose for me. The beads, obviously, the beads are predominantly decoration. There's really no usefulness to them except for doing like a theme for a knife. Like the Shirogorov clone, that one I purposely looked for a wolf because that's their a bear because that's their logo is a bear, I think. Earthquake! Hide under your desk. And this Bedford, man, Jesus. I'm insane. I know I'm insane. I have papers to prove it. But I don't understand how people can't, for the most part, I understand sometimes it's a little out there. But Greg Medford, his views on things are so perfect. He's like George Carlin. Like George Carlin never missed. He was dead on nuts accurate for everything he ever said. Medford, I think, is the same. I think he should be, when Donald Trump is president, Medford should be vice president. And just fucking clean house. Fuck all the politicians, fuck all the bullshit, just clean house. That's why I didn't like Trump, because he wasn't fucking around. And he was telling all these assholes, hey, go fuck yourself, we're going to do it the right way or not at all. They want to get him out of there, fuck him. But anyway, that's as far as politics as I go with that. I love this picture. Sometimes I just take a picture and I look at it and I don't know, man. And it's a fucking fantastic knife. Like the tolerances, I took it apart to clean it and check out the bearings and whatnot. Each part has a little serial number on it. The handle scales on the inside, the knife, the blade. The hardware is really cool. It's torque bits, but still, it's like the pivot is cool the way it is, how big it is, size-wise. The knife itself, like the tolerance of it, when I was putting it back together and tuning the pivot, the tolerance is ridiculous. Like, fucking ridiculous. It's so good. It's a fantastic. I wish it was a little bit heavier, a little bit bigger. But now it's got me on the path to look for like maybe a mini Marauder or something like that. The knife it's fantastic. But the Shirogorov clone, like I say, I purposely went to look for the bear because I wanted it to be at the theme of the, since it's their logo is a bear. So that's what I put on it. And again, as far as clones go, so I sent Tri-State my Arius clone, and obviously he pooped on it, which I fully understand. I know it's basically soft. Like the detent is, like I can tune it crisper, but it's really not like crisp. The knife itself, the action, everything, it's a little bit soft feeling. It's definitely not on the same level as the stovepipe. The stovepipe is so much better. So much better. But there's some other clones that I have that are ridiculously good. But like this one, it's just it's so good. It's so good. It's a great knife. The only thing I don't like is the profile of the clip, how thin it is to the handle. My work pants, the lip on the pants is really thick, so when it's in the pocket, it bends out the clip a little bit. But it doesn't matter because with it bent out, it still doesn't fall out of my pocket. It's still grabbing the pocket tight, so it doesn't bother me. It's just when it's out of my pocket and I hear that tap. But other than that, it doesn't bother me at all. I bend it back and then I'm good to go. As far as the giveaway goes, if you guys want to do it, I'm all for it. I would assume, what do I do? Pick a number and write it down, and you guys guess a number. I don't know if I want you to send it to me. You send it to me, I might not give it away. I mean, that really, honestly, like size-wise, it would be my kind of knife. Design-wise, really not. I love all knives. I'm not gonna lie, but that one in particular, for the size of it and the design, the shape, it's really not my cup of tea. But if you guys want to do that, we can do it. Just what's the best approach to do it, and you want to do it, and then we get the info and he sends it to you, or he sends it to me and I send it. What's the best way to do things? Yeah, let me know, guys. Let me know. What do you think? Like, what's the best process? What's the like? I just don't want to guess. I mean, I can write down a number and do it like that, but I don't even know. What if there's 8 people in here? Is that right? Give me a second. Let me see what we'll see when we see what we see. See when we see what we see. It's 8 watching. Oh, what do you want to do? The number from 1 to 10, or what do you do? All right, what do we got going on here? Let me see. And we're going to Instagram notifications. Let me follow. Comment. Are you sending me a video? I mean, you can. Well, I don't know if sending it to my email would probably be too big to send, but if you, I don't see any messages popping up. All right, am I missing something here? Oh, you know what? You probably got buried in the damn request bullshit. Hang on. Massages, requests. Carco, you got stuck in the bad spot. You can't accept. See, now I gotta accept this girl sending me her OnlyFans. I gotta do that because I totally get on OnlyFans all the time because I love OnlyFans. Fucking morons. Hey Carco, I'm gonna send you a link to my OnlyFans. If you could subscribe and pay me $50 a day to show you my ass, that'd be really cool. Which is kind of funny because I actually thought about this morning, like an OnlyFans knife community, and then we could just be fucking wild and show our dicks and everything. What are we looking at here? What is that, a Protect? Oh, Benchmade. Benchmade, I'm gonna puke, oh my god. You fucking jerk. Why are we looking at a Benchmade? Okay, so first things first, let's figure out. We're doing a giveaway. What are we giving away? What are we going to do? Am I just going to write down a number and you guys pick a number? What do you think? And then the video. Let's share our screen. And then I think we're going to wind up seeing Carco's dick. Get this fucking ugly ass Benchmade piece of shit. Oh, the video's coming out choppy. I'm sure my video card on my laptop is probably not the best for all this. I'm assuming somebody wanted to see this. Oh, that's cool. What is that? What is that? Just a drapery, man? That's fucking cool, dude. That would be awesome in pictures. Where'd you get that from? Oh, shit. Look at this big motherfucker. Oh, my God.
It's about an hour's drive from where we live. So close to 2 hours total trips. I was going to take the dogs out, get them a little winded before we left.
Yeah, that's
an hour's drive.
Kind of a nice one.
So
yeah, I like it. It's absolutely my size. I don't know design-wise it would be my thing or not. Get rid of that. Somebody blue. Let's see what's somebody blue 94. Who the fuck's got 94-degree weather? Jesus Christ. Let's see what the weather is today. It's probably not that bad today. So we got a it's of course I probably won't be able to share that. How can I share that? Oh, I know how I can share it. I know how I can share it. There you go. Here's the weather here for today. 78. That weather app is so funny. It's called What the Forecast. WTF. It is so funny. Sometimes the shit it says just got me rolling. All right. Okay. Oh, if you want to do it, do it. I'm more power to you, dude. But like I say, if you want to send it to me or if you want to send it to the winners, that's up to. That's whatever you want to do. If I win it, then I'll certainly play with it for a little while. But I would probably give it away to somebody. Uh, like I say, that design it looks cool, but roll the number. What does it mean? Roll the number. I don't have any dice here. Um, Somebody needs to explain to me because I'm an idiot. Oh, random number generator. See? Google is your friend. Let us go to the Google. Google. Random. Whoops. Random number generator. Spell it right. Okay. Minimum 1, maximum 10. How many people are in here right now? 13? There's 13 people in here? I'm not sure if that's right. Let me look. Let me look at the door and see what's in here. 10 watching? 9 watching? 10 How many fucking people are in here? 9 watching? There we go. Well, my screen is right here. How am I supposed to share it? It's already shared. You guys, I'm not professional at this. I'm not Tri-State. You're lucky I knew how to turn the fucking camera on, for Christ's sake. 5 people? How many fucking people are in here? I gotta know how many numbers in there. Jesus Christ. Now got me all fucked up in here. I'm gonna have to go lay down now. Well, somebody has to enjoy my insanity beside me. Okay, do you want me to do it now or do you want me to wait? Are you guys ready? You know whose number's who and all that nonsense? Otherwise, I'm just going to sit here and tie a lanyard. You already got me fucking tying it already. Jesus Christ. Now I got OCD. It's sitting on the bench. I got to do something with it. Roll. Okay, here we go. Generate. That's it? That's all that happens? No spinny thing or nothing? That's fucking boring. Y'all got me in here expecting fun, That's it. I'm gonna go take a picture of my dick and put it on the Discord. Y'all got me all fucked up around here. Birthday. It's your birthday? Bro, it's your birthday today? And you picked coming here? Man, you're fucked up, dude. You need to add your name to the name on my mental paperwork because you're fucking nuts. Oh, hey, what's in my organizer is a completely taken apart ProTech. What is that? SNG? I don't remember what it is. The spring decided it wanted to be an asshole, so I said fuck it, and I didn't want to put it back. Spring for the button. I said fuck it. Well, look, I don't have any beads to put on here. Put one of these on. Let's see. So, well, happy birthday. No jokes aside, happy birthday. I hope you're having a wonderful day. How old are you? 41? Someone call it Ed's home. Call my home. Why do you want to call my home? You mean the home that I should be in, that I'm missing from, that I escaped from, the mental home? Yeah, I was in a couple of institutes too. It wasn't funny at the time, but it is now in retrospect. It wasn't along the lines of One Flew Over Cuckoo's Nest, but it was, yeah, it was definitely not fun. But what are you going to do? Our life experiences are what makes us who we are. Replace the max number 10 to... Oh, gotcha. So there's only 6 people in? I won't change. What am I missing here? Uh-huh. All right. 1 through 6. All right. That's so boring. Don't I got no fucking spinny doodad thing or nothing. It's just a fucking number. I could have done that off the top of my head. Of course, I had to take my shoes off to count to 20, but who the fuck is 7? Look at y'all got it, man. Y'all just fucking me up on purpose, I think. Let's see if we can make Ed go crazy. Well, I'm already crazy. You can't make me go crazy. We can make me go crazy here, I think. I'm not really sure. They're perfect. Look it. Isn't that cool? Little lanyard down. See, perfect. That'll go in the box with the rest of them. Actually, I'll put it in this one. With all the other keychains and shit. All right. Am I too late, Terry? You want me to do it again? How many people are in here? Y'all gotta make up your mind. You just can't keep subtracting people because you don't like them. Terry, I'm sorry, brother. They don't like you. I wish I could help you out. We'll do a giveaway just for you. We'll give you the option of being in the giveaway or not. How about that? We'll draw a number, and if your number comes up, then you get to be in the giveaway. If it doesn't, then you're in the same boat that you're in now. You don't get shit because nobody likes you. Zippity doo dah. Yeah, you know the things I go through for you guys. Doing that picture with the gun air in my pants, that one was a tricky one for sure. 1 through 7. All right, let's do 1 through 7. Let's make sure the numbers lock is right. All right, are you ready? Okay. I am saying right now, as soon as I press this generate button, this is the official number drawn. If your number doesn't get drawn, or if you didn't get picked to be in a number because you came late or didn't say nothing, or somebody don't like you or whatever, nothing I can do about that. So here we go in 3, 2, 1, and it's now it's number 6. You should have stuck with number 6 the first time. Fucking jerk off. I'm be doing all this extra work, fucking around, making pink ass lanyards and shit. I'm gonna punch somebody in the nose. So who's number 6? Kaleidoscope. For real? You picked that asshole just because it's just a birthday? Fuck that birthday bullshit. You ain't winning shit. Look, if you guys are heartbroken about not winning, we can Do we have to have a consolation prize? Do we have to do another giveaway? I could probably dig up something here to give away. Something good, you know, like a jar filled with my piss or something like that, you know. Of course, that tries to probably like that because he likes piss, right? All right. Are we having an argument here, or what's going on? No, you don't have to send it to me. I don't need to see it. Like I say, if even if I got it and messed around with it, I would just sell it or give it away. It's really not like the blade shaping. That's really not my style. Um, but really, honestly, I am thinking about what I have here that I would be willing to give away. I like the idea. I just don't know currently what I would want to give away. I do have a knife up for sale, but um, that one's a little bit much for a giveaway. Oh boy, I'm getting too old for this shit. Don't apologize to me. I'm not helping much. I don't know what the fuck's going on around here. Y'all got to hammer that shit out on your own. You're lucky I couldn't even remember my name half the time. Look at my little dildo dude. He's so cute. You know, it's the dumbest shit that is just, it tickles me to no end. Opening the box and this got out. And that is the cutest little thing. It is so cute. I don't know what we're doing right now, guys. I'm just fucking around. Do, 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 do. Now I want to watch They Live. It's a good movie. I got this Tucson bead. It's supposed to be a multi-purpose bead, bottle opener, and all that kind of nonsense, but it's too fucking small to be a bottle opener. And it's too damn big to put on a lanyard. So I'm kind of stumped what exactly I want to do with it. But it is pretty freaking cool. Carco can't drive me nuts. I'm already way too far nuts to be any more nuts. You can only fit so many nuts in the fucking jar with me. It's bad enough being fucking OCD, ADD, ABC, 1, 2, 3, whatever the fuck. I got too much shit going off in my head all the time. Nobody can make me any more nuts. Make me more frustrated, but you can't make me more nuts. I think I've already surpassed the mental problem quota. Um, you want to roll again, or no? What do you want to do? Whoever's giving away the knife to whoever they're giving it away to, you gotta tell me what you want to do. I'm here to please. Whatever you guys need to do, just let me know, and I will make that insanity happen. Because I'm such a nice guy. I love to please my fellow man. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, another sale. More knives that I shouldn't be buying. Oh, by the way, that Kaiser amphibian that I happen to have in my pocket right now. Not amphibian, Jesus Christ. Phoenix. Kaiser Phoenix. Jesus Christ, why did I say fucking amphibian? I'm an idiot. This, although it's not quite my design flavor, is very nice. It's very nice action. I do have to tune the detent a little bit, but it is very nice. I would love to see a little bit taller blade and have some accessibility to the fuller. It barely sticks out. I can finger flick it from the blade, but that's more of a on the flats than in the fuller type of thing. See, like you can't do it all the time. And like I say, I still have to tune the detent. But this, believe it or not, I got from Jared for being a Rockstead member for over 2 years. So thanks to Jared, which I obviously already thanked him. I didn't even know he did that sort of thing, to be honest. I would support the guy no matter what. I don't really watch his lives a lot anymore. I'm not really sure why, but I still think he's a cool guy. I will still support him. And apparently, if you're a Rockstead member for a long time, you get a free knife, which is cool because I love knives. Not gonna say no. Yeah, Maddie, this is definitely an awesome design. I love the bolster. The knife itself, it's a great knife. I would love to see the blade a little bit taller. Only just for, just closed profile and to be able to engage the fuller more. Maybe extend the spine out maybe a ½ inch and just have a little bit more buoy drop to it. As it stands now, this is a little bit more Persian. The way it's shaped, it's flat. It's a straight grind, but a straight edge, but it still does have quite a bit of a Persian upsweep to it. And with that spine being the way it is, it looks Persian. But having a taller blade, I think the knife itself, it would be design-wise would for me be perfect. Not that it's not perfect now, but it's a great knife. It really is. I like it. I like it a lot. What are we looking at here? Oh, good. It's not any knives that I want. That saves me some money. So, are we good with the giveaway? Or if you want me to be frustrated, I can pretend like I'm frustrated. Typically, I'm not. The things that frustrate me, I believe would frustrate anybody. So it's really not me in particular, and it's not anything to do with my mental condition. It's just that I spend a pretty fair amount of my self-control dealing with various mental issues. I have a pretty bad stutter that I usually focus a lot on because I I understand the humor factor of it, and it does sound funny when it gets out. Like if I get super excited or I get super frustrated, I'll stutter, and it basically sounds like a machine gun, which is funny as fuck. But I just, you know, when you're a kid and you got to go through that shit and you get picked on all the time and basically spend half your day in school beating the shit out of people for picking on you, it kind of wears you out. So stuff like that, uh, you know, like I say, to focus most of my self-control on my stutter and trying to keep certain things locked up in my head. The only things that really frustrate me are the things that would frustrate anybody else. Like my tolerance for shit is gone. Like at work, anytime I work with someone and they just don't give a shit, like I can't operate like that. I have high expectations for myself. Every day I want to be better today than I was yesterday. I want to learn something new. I want to do something good. There's got to be something that when I go to sleep at night, there's got to be something that I can at least be proud of that I did. I learned, I did. You know what I'm saying? People that don't want to better themselves, that just don't give a shit, I've got zero tolerance for it. And that's usually what sets me off is just stupid shit that people do. Stuff like this with the giveaway, I don't care. I'll fucking joke around and act like I'm mad, but I'm not. It doesn't bother me in the least. Chances are 20 minutes from now, I'll fucking forget about it. Angry Ed is Angry Ed is not a good guy. Angry Ed is the type of guy that uses every bit of over 32 years of martial arts to pretty much tear apart the human body because he can, and the anger just makes that possible. I don't get like blackout angry. I get quiet and then I get giggly. And when I get giggly, that's bad news. There's been a few occasions where actual rage has caused me to do some pretty bad things, which, you know, I will atone for. Everybody has sins. I know full well that I have my time of payment coming, and I'm ready to accept it. I don't really have any regret, but there's times where I think about, you know, certain things and the approach I took, whether it was right or wrong, but it is what it is. It's our life experiences that make us who we are. But Angry Ed is Angry Ed, from what I understand, because I don't know when it's happening, I only find out afterwards. I understand that I tend to giggle when certain things are happening, and I kind of wish that I had video of it because I always wanted to see like what everybody else was seeing in those situations, because I'm sure it was probably like super funny, but the most scariest thing you ever seen in your entire life. I don't know because I've never seen it, but I'm sure it's pretty fucking funny. Um, and you know, I'm an old man now. I'm not built like I used to be, but younger Ed was a pretty scary guy as far as build goes. Uh, my biggest bench press was 425. My heaviest curl was 230. I used to be able to put up the entire stack of weight on the calf press, which was 1,500 pounds, and I could do that with no problem. I think probably about 10, 15 years ago was probably about when I was starting to lose muscle and flexibility and whatnot. You know, you stop working out all the time and stop doing those things and stop trying to be healthy, and it you know, it adds up. It stacks up after a while. Um, And now I'm just a skinny, scrawny guy, you know. I'm just a little pipsqueak old man. But you know, like I say, back in the day, I was somewhat not as tall as I am now. This picture is from maybe, like, I don't know, 12 years or so ago, maybe. 10 years ago. That's when I was losing muscle. I lost a lot of muscle in my arms. Um, Gained a little bit of weight in the belly, which is okay because, you know, everybody loves dad bods, right? Oh, here's a picture of me doing the splits on a table. It was me when I had some hair. Oh dear God. Oh, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. Wait, maybe I say no. Now we got to have who's the competition? Who's got the better mustache? Look at that! Look at that fucking Magna PI shit right there, huh? That's yeah. I was a beast, but let me tell you, I was a big motherfucker back then, and I'm a small guy. I was always a small guy, but when I first started working out when I was a kid, like actually like with weights and shit, um, I went whole hog into it. Like I hated it. I loved it. Just the you know seeing yourself grow, just the ego of being able to put up fucking incredibly obnoxious amounts of weight, being as small as I was. I love that shit. Well, I can't say whether or not I was doing the splits before Van Dam, but I was always flexible and I would always do it across like bar countertops and shit. Um, I think he might be older than me, and I know he did them on the ropes in No Retreat, No Surrender, but that doesn't mean either he or I weren't doing it before each other. Um, oh shit, he is. Holy fuck, he's 63. Holy cow. So maybe he has been doing the split since before me. But, you know. No, I am a Sagittarius. I was born December 20th. Um, I don't really think Sagittarians really have a good or bad thing. You know, like I know some zodiac signs, they say, oh, them people are crazy or they're mad or whatever. I don't know if Sagittarius, if that's like that or not. I don't usually pay attention to that sort of thing. But, you know, it is what it is. Well, I hope I have been somewhat entertaining. I hope that we were able to fill the void left by our illustrious leader. I know he's busy. I know I poke fun at him, but I don't find any harm in him being busy and not hanging out. You know, we all have jobs to do. We all have things that we have to do. I hope that he's doing well. I hope that his parents' business is doing well. Ice balls are really not my thing. I don't see the value of it, but I'm sure in certain circles, it's probably a really cool thing. You know, you go to one of them ritzy nightclubs where you spend $100 on a Coke and you need an ice ball in it to make it worth $100. I don't know, but I hope that they're all doing well. I hope that his convention is going well. When I was working in nightclubs, I went to a few restaurant conventions and shit like that, and they're basically a nightmare. Um, you know, basically half the place is filled with people that are trying to sell something. The other half is just people that are just booze hounds looking for the next greatest things. People that have shit bars that don't give a fuck about nothing, that want to put Jaeger machines in and shit like that. They're okay, but they're not. I think I would much rather be at a blade show versus a restaurant show. But I would also very much rather be at a security convention versus either one of those. Security conventions are the best. They are, oh my God, if you want to see like the most positive and negative ends of the spectrum of humans, go to a securities conference. They're a nightmare of the greatest law enforcement people and the worst at the same time in the same place. It's a fucking tip. Security conventions, depending on which ones, a lot of the time it's kind of basically like what you would see in what was the Beverly Hills Cop 3? Or like Paul Blart, where they were at the convention. That's basically what it is. A bunch of fucking idiots roaming around playing with weapons and armored cars and shit. Depending on depending on the conference, depending on the convention, what it is, they're hard to explain. Like it's cool because you're basically surrounded by the latest and greatest tech when it comes to law enforcement, security, law enforcement, high-risk security jobs, armored car drivers, shit like that. It's cool, but it's too many big dicks in the same room. Everybody's got the biggest dick in the room. And that's it's a lot to deal with when you got that many egos all competing to be number one in the fucking room, but there's like technology shit, like I say, it's like the latest and greatest fucking technology, the latest armor, the latest guns, the latest non-lethal, tasers and rubber ball guns and shit like that. They're fun. Like if you like gear and you like stupid shit like that, they're fun. Dealing with people and, like I say, dealing with that many swinging dicks in the same room at one time. Nah, that's very frustrating. I mean, they are what they are. They serve a purpose, but as long as it's not. So I had to do, when I had my business, I had to do a securities conference that was like way more formal. There was Senate budget people there. There was congressional, whatever the fuck budget bullshit there. It was way more formal. That one wasn't as bad. Like it wasn't so much having to deal with everybody's egos. It was more having to deal with the political aspect of it, which I've never gave a shit about politics. I hate politics. I think for the most part, most politicians, they should just be evaporated off the planet. All they want to do is fill their pockets with money and don't give a shit about anybody. Being around people like that for me is frustrating because I just don't like those kind of people. And that would be any kind of a job that would have that kind of people. I just don't like. I don't like salesmen. I don't like crooked people. But that's, like I say, that's different. It's different. It's a different world, a different type of personality you got to deal with. Well, you could do my laundry now. I got to do my sheets. I got clothes to wash. Luckily, I got all day tomorrow. I can do it. I can just be lazy today. I'm actually getting. What do I want to eat today, guys? I got chicken fajitas in the fridge. I have got. Oh my god! I would love for you guys to try this cucumber lime salsa that I make and the carrots that I make. You guys would love them. I've got. I'm actually running out. I got to make more. The fucking salsa, it's like crack. I took some to work, give it to one of the guys at work, and he fucking. I said, yeah, it's like fucking crack. You got to force yourself to stop eating or to eat the whole fucking thing. No. You don't. You look at. We always need coal. We can never not need coal. Coal is the man. Cole is he's a good guy. He deserves our viewing and our respect. You know, he's a good guy. I don't mind filling in the time, but I am not. I am have no plans of being a creator. I don't want to do it. The couple of times that I fill in, that's more than enough for me. I'm as much as I say I hate people, I love people. I just want everybody to be happy. If I'm able to make somebody happy, then that's all I need. It makes my whole day complete. Um, I don't do the whole knife plugging thing. I don't. That's the thing. And don't get me wrong. I don't think he shills. I think MC. He really comes off as a shill. I don't think he intends it, but that's unfortunately the way he comes off. I know Cole doesn't do that. I feel that there are some forces that are pushing him in certain directions. EMP, EDC, tactile knife, tactile turn, blade binge. Um, I'm all for being supportive of things. Like, I would support blade binge. I would support whoever. I don't give a benchmate, whoever the fuck. I don't care. I would be supportive, but I wouldn't be so seemingly one direction on it. I would try to disperse it enough that it wasn't the focus of everything. The Blade Binge commercials and the Blade Binge, let's go surfing on Blade Binge and shit like that. I wouldn't mind doing stuff like that, but I would rather, Blade Binge this week, Arizona Custom Knives next week, White Mountain, Blade HQ, LTK site, Neves site, whoever. Spread it out. Give everybody the same time. Give everybody the same benefit. Don't just leave it on one thing. Don't use, and that's another thing that drives me nuts about MC with that Ritter Hogue is just, it's enough already. Use something else to do your comparisons besides that knife. Like it's enough. It's enough already. Every fucking video. It's enough. It's too much. Stop it. Use something else. The Ontario Ret 1, the Ontario Ret 2. Like, who fucking gives a fuck about those knives for real? Jesus Christ, give something else. For anybody that's laughing so much that their sides hurt, I am not responsible for any physical damage done while participating in this live stream. It is your responsibility to provide the medical care and first aid that you need in the event that I may or may not cause you to spew hot coffee through your nose, or bleed out your ears or any of that kind of stuff. I'm not responsible for that. I can't accept that responsibility. But if it happens, hey, I'll photograph it. I will definitely get you some good photographs of it. I might giggle while I'm doing it, but hey, we all got to do something, right? We all got to put our little time in. Oh, God. And that's the other thing I can't stand is that fucking Ultim. Every person in the history of knives that ever bitched about FRN or GRN are going fucking nuts for Ultim. Bro, it's fucking piss-colored plastic. What the fuck? And it's not even a trend anymore. It's not even a fad. It's just fucking stop. Figure out a different color of it. Make a fucking like G Mascus type of Ultim. Do something else besides fucking yellow plastic. And God forbid you do something different. Every fucking knife company on the planet's got to have an Ultim knife. Why? Now you just look like you jumped on the bandwagon. It's fucking stupid. The only one I ever saw that I thought was cool was the 6-leaf, and that's because they had their emblem in the liner and you could see it. It looked fucking cool. Otherwise, they all look like dog shit. They look stupid. No offense to the people that like it. I understand. My opinion is my opinion. It don't mean nothing for anybody else. But that shit, it's just like button locks. I love a good button lock. But Jesus fucking Christ, does every knife coming out have to be a fucking button lock? Let's go back to the old days. Let's start making lockbacks again. Then let's start making liner locks again. Then let's start making frame locks again. Because that's the 3 most basic common knife locks. And that's all you fucking need. Shark lock, axis lock, top lock, blah, 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 blah lock. Fucking stop. You don't have to jump on the fucking bandwagon every time a company does it. CGRB make a button lock and everybody fucking jumps on the bandwagon because they sold them. You know what? You don't have to do that. Be different. Do something else. At least Wasti, the top lock, yeah. I've seen other knife companies do that in the past. I don't remember who off the top of my head, but I know other people have done it, where it was a liner actuated button. And I can't remember who did it. If it was Benchmade, who the fuck did it now? Now it's going to bother me all day now. Can't think. But I know somebody did it in the past. 20, 30 years ago they did it. It was a button actuated liner lock. And you know what? I might actually have one. And the button, it was more towards this, it wasn't really towards the center, but it was more, it wasn't up high towards the pivot like these are. I want to say it was Benchmade. It wasn't the Mini-Mite. God, that's going to drive me nuts now. And I'll bet I have one too. It's on the tip of my tongue and I can picture it in my head. I can't think of it. It's going to bug me all day now. The Best Techman, how do you like it? Was good? There's a couple of Best Techmans that I like, but I haven't really pulled the trigger on any of them. I like the overall design of some of them. The Dundee I like. I'm looking now to see the Good Boy was the more blockier one, wasn't it? Oh yeah, that was that turquoise one, the blue one. There was another one, the Dundee and something else. I don't remember what else. And then I've always had my eye on those Eutectics too. I know LTK plugs Eutectic all the time, and I know him and Liang Ma, they're always doing podcasts, wherever the fuck it is they do. Eutectic. The Trinity? Eutectic Trinity? Yeah. I like the design. I like the look of it. I just haven't pulled the trigger on one. Price-wise, I don't know. I think they should be cheaper, but it's like I said, it is what it is. Like I look at knives like the Padre, and I think it's fucking less than $300, and it's goddamn perfect. Then I gotta wonder, why am I spending so much money on some of these knives? Like the gun gear. What did I pay for that? It was $325 or $425 for the gun gear, and it fucking worth every penny. I think it was $425 when I bought it, with the milled clip option. Worth every penny, just for the size of it, the design of it, the feel. It was definitely worth it. I got to think about other nice, like the Max Ace Goliath, the clip. You know, the original one that I have with the clip, the stamped clip versus the milled clip. I'd rather have a milled clip on it, but apart from the clip, it's a fantastic knife for $120. I think I paid $120. Fantastic knife. If it was $200, would I pay $200 for it? If it had a different clip, I probably would. The same thing with the Sandstorm K. It's a beautiful knife, but the clip, that stamp clip, it sucks. Yeah, the Eutectic, $90 for the Trinity. I would see paying that. I don't know, like, that one's a little rough. Even for budget Riat, there's so many knives that are the same materials and the same type of builds that are 40, 50. Look at fucking Amazon, for Christ's sake. You can get a knife for $30 that's 100 times better than anything else. I got that fucking, whatever the fuck it is, Fintiso. I showed this on the Discord. Fintiso? And I can't remember where I saw these. It might have been on Instagram. Fintiso. Fintiso. The fucking thing came in a sleeved magnet box, in a pouch, with $40, and I'm like, what the fuck? $40, G10, milled clip. Fucking, I look at that and I think about, like, the Trinity. Is the Trinity worth $90 versus $40, and I got all that shit with it? Like, Jesus Christ. Who the fuck is the Fintiso? Who the fuck is that? Fintiso. Who is that? And even if you knew who it was, if it was Ganzo or SRM or, well, Jesus, they're the same company anyway, so that don't fucking matter. Fucking, I'm going to put a detent ramp in it. I don't like where the detent on the clothes where it's at. You can get past it, but I don't like it. But I'm going to put a detent ramp in it. And it's got pretty good action. I still got a little bit of tuning to do on it. And it's got a break in. It's still new. But it's a fucking... like I said on the Discord, like the fucking sleeve box, the magnet box, the pouch. I think it came with... I'd have to dig up the box. Did it come with hardware? What did it come with? It came with a ton of shit, and it's $40. You got it on Amazon, $40. Like, what the fuck? What's the point? Why would you spend $90 on the same fucking knife? Like, it's not the same. You know what I mean, though. But G10 steel liners, blade. Like, okay, a knife is a knife. Jesus Christ, they all cut shit. Like, I'm not spending no fucking $2,000 on knives anymore. I can't do that. This one I got. This was my second win from Discerning Man. And just for being a member, I didn't even enter. The rake, I think they say. I think they call it rake, R-U-I-K-E. The P801. This is the one without that lock on it. But it's Jesus, fucking biting my finger. Sharp. This is a cool knife. I think it's steel handles. Yep, steel handles. But it's a nice knife. I haven't carried it yet. I still had other knives that were new. You can finger flick it off the stud. It's a little weird. You gotta have your fingers in the right spot towards the clip and whatnot, but it's not bad. I like it. I don't know how much it costs. I didn't look it up, but it's nice. Rake. And actually, I have another one that I bought years ago. The Rake Hussar, Hussar. It's like P121 or something like that. Earthquake. I don't know because I rearranged the shelves. I don't know what shelf it's on anymore. So I'm not gonna look for it. But anyhow, it's time for me to figure out what. You know what? Maybe I'll have Subway today. Subway's always good. But anyhow, let's call it a day. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I hope that I was somewhat entertaining. I hope that the lanyard bit didn't hurt you guys' feelings too much. I know you're probably all, running away screaming, looking for a safe space and a pillow because I said lanyard too many times. But oh, the little fucking Tucson Clippers, ride design. I don't know if they do it under the Tucson name. I think I want to say he does his under the Six Leaf name. I don't remember, but these things are freaking cool. I like them, and they actually clip your nails pretty damn good too. But anyhow, thanks for hanging out, guys. I hope I was somewhat entertaining. I would love to do this again. Not to overstep, on Tri-State or not, but if he happens to be, out doing his thing and doesn't have time, I'm more than happy to fill in. But anyhow, I am going to end the stream. You guys need to do like the Tri-State Discord face thing for me. To hang on, let me get you. Let me give you a good face to end off with here. Hang on a second. Get all locked in here. You want glasses on or glasses off? What's the best thing here? Let me get arranged out of the word. Where are we at here? Let's see. Let me get this. Oh, that's not gonna work. Well, you're gonna have to deal with the glow, otherwise the other light won't work. What's a good here? I'll give you a good one here. Put the glasses on, put a little lanyard in it. A little lanyard in there. All right, guys. See you later.